welcome to Talk to the Town. I'm with Steve Gaito. Very nice to see you again because, he's busy with the retirement resource management. And we're going to talk about something that how it impacts our retirement, our savings, and being taxed.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
So it's a complicated sort of a thing if you're not understanding it. So please give us the basics and so we can build upon that.
Yeah. Well, there's a time bomb that's out there for most retirees and they don't even know it. Recently, the Secure Act 2.0 said we're going to move that required minimum distribution age out to 75 for most people. And everybody said, oh, yay, that's great. I love it. But really all that did was mean that you're going to have to take more out later on, which sounds good, except that's going to be taxable income that you can't control. And so that may cause you to pay more for your Medicare premiums. It may cause you to go into the next tax bracket. And if you don't use it all, you're leaving that tax time bomb to your kids.
All right. So that's the cause. Now, what can we do to prevent that?
Yeah. And that's what I preach. It's planning. You know it's coming. So how do you prepare for that? And for a lot of people, that's doing something as simple as a Roth conversion. And a Roth conversion is basically taking money that's in your IRA and paying some or all of the taxes now. Now, one of the things that's real important about Roth IRAs is they're not subject to required minimum distribution rules for you. Your kids have to take it out, but again, you aren't leaving that tax time bomb for them because Roth IRAs don't have taxable consequences.
All right. So how do we put this into our will, into how we manage this whole thing?
Yeah, so really it's a process. It's a planning process. And it's first identifying how much income you need. And that's the basis for almost every single retirement plan that I do is let's start with your budget, figure out when you're going to need it. I often say, you've got your go-go, your slow-go, and your no-go times.
Right.
And so, you want to be able to fund it as you go along. But if you've got it funded and all of a sudden the government says, oh, you need to take out more money because we want our money, then that can mess up your whole plan. Because if the market drops, for example, we had that 40% drop like we had in 2008, and you're forced to take that money out, well, you've depleted the source of a lot of your income. And that's going to cause a negative impact for you.
All right. So what can we tell our viewers about this? Because it's very important, especially when we're talking about death, how that would be sent to our children, right? Yeah. Give us some procedures, protocols.
So basically, being efficient with your planning process means you want to create income that's not going to go backwards. So solving the income plan. Then the next one is how do we deal with the future taxes that are going to be out there? And that's going to be your Roth conversions and sometimes life insurance for your kids. And then how do we efficiently pass stuff on to our kids so that they aren't left with the taxes in a very condensed format? So, if you've got $1 million sitting in your IRA when you die and you have one child, that child's going to have to add $100,000 worth of taxable income to them every year for the next 10 years. That's going to change your tax bracket.
Oh, interesting. That is an impact.
Yeah.
So one of the things when you do this before you retire, you want to start the plan, correct?
Yeah,
and you've
absolutely.
started, a few years ahead? What do you recommend?
You want to start, 55 plus is the time. But there's really no time that is too late. It becomes more complicated to do Roth conversions after you started required minimum distributions, but you can still do it. There's a misconception also out there that people think, oh, I make too much money, I can't do a Roth conversion. That's a fallacy that's out there. A lot of people can convert, but they just can't contribute. And there's even a way to get around those rules if you want to.
Right, and obviously you help your clients do with all this.
Absolutely.
What other tips can you give us quickly as we look forward?
I think it's to take a fresh look. There have been a lot of new products, so to speak, that have come to the market that solve more than one need. It seems like the words that nobody wants to hear is budget, life insurance, or annuity. And all three of those are an important part of your retirement plan. The annuities have changed because they can also deal with things like long-term care. And that's a huge one that's probably for another time. But, you want to make sure you cover all your bases when you're doing a plan. And that's why I love to be a planner. I don't manage money. but I help people understand exactly when and why they should do things.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's always good to see you, Steve.
Good to see you.
Wish you lots of luck, and do pay attention to this. If they want to know more, obviously they can reach out to you.
Yeah.
But online, they can just sort of Google it, and they can sort of
well,
do some
they can go to my
background
website,
Go to your
retirerm.com.
Yeah.
And also, I'll put a link to a white paper that I just wrote about required minimum distributions on your site.
Oh, perfect. Well, you got us covered.
Great.
All right. This is Talk of the Town.